I've never been a huge fan of Mario sports games. The only memory I had was Mario Strikers Charge on the Wii, and I liked it. I thought it was solid, but it wasn't a revolution to me. I don't really remember why, but for some reason, I was just really excited for Mario Tennis Aces. The gameplay looked fun and in-depth. I played for about 2 to 3 months and never really got back into it again. I've picked it up and here to try out all the new updates, but I've never sat down and played it constantly. Until now. Let's talk about it. Mario Tennis Aces at its core is a standard tennis game but with some twist. You can press different buttons on the controller to do different types of shots, lob, slice, etc. What is new to this game is you have a meter at the top left. Your meter can be charged up by hitting shots. You can activate zone speed, which slows down time so you can get back to the ball quickly. Pressing a direction on the right stick allows you to do a trick shot, which if you pull off correctly, you get more energy, and it just looks cool. When the meter is filled, you can do your character's unique special shot. Your opponent can try to block it with zone speed, and if they fail, their racket will break. Your racket has health, and if you get hit by too much zone shot or special shots, it will break. And if your racket breaks 2 times, you automatically lose the game. So, this game is much more complicated than any Mario sports game before it, which isn't a bad thing. It makes you think and strategize what you want to do. It is for sure more skill-based than any other Mario sports game, which kind of makes me miss the wacky Mario Kart-esque items and randomness from the old games. Overall, the gameplay is really solid, but sometimes it can be a bit too much managing everything at once with what type of shots you're going to use and using a trick shot or not. The first mode Nintendo really pushed in this game's marketing is the adventure mode. Luigi gets controlled by basically the Infinity Racket, and you have to stop him. The adventure mode is a bunch of minigames based on where you are in the world. You can defeat piranha plants within the time limit, hit down panels to gain points, and full-on boss fights. The boss fights are probably the best part of this mode. Each one has its own unique court and uses your skills to the fullest, but that's kind of where my praises end. After you play the first world, you basically have seen all the mode has to offer, because the rest of the game is really just the same missions, just but a bit harder. The mode is also short. It may look decently sized, but it's only around 4 to 5 hours at most. That would be fine if there were new challenges every time, but after you beat it, there's nothing really else to do. There is a challenge island, but it's probably just really hard versions of previous missions. I feel like adding 2 or 3 more game types would have gone a long way. I think this mode is fine. You only really need to play the first world to see it all. I'd say playing it just for the boss fights alone are probably worth it. The other main mode is Tournament, which is basically what it sounds like. You can play standard, simple, or team up with friends and play doubles. There are rankings of previous months to see where you stack up against the world, your region, and your friends. You get points for playing in the tournament, and you get more when you win. They all add up to special costumes for certain characters. For about a year after launch, the reward was a new character if you played during that month, or would unlock afterwards. I do like the participation bonus you get for online because it gives you something to work towards. It may take some time to find a match, but it really depends on the time of day you're playing. There is a computer tourney, but it's nothing special and you don't get anything out of it. But the online tournament is the main part of the game and where you'll spend most of your time, and I think it's pretty fun. Something new they added after launch is Co-op Challenge. The types of games switch out every month. You and 3 other people locally or online try to compete for a high score. The one that's up right now is Boo Hunt. Try to beat as many boos and get as many coins as possible. Just like the online tournament, you get special costumes online, which is nice. I have a couple problems with this mode. For whatever reason, it's really laggy. Another thing is that you have to use motion controls with a single Joy-Con. It's not terrible, but I'd rather use an actual controller. I do like this mode, switching up the gameplay to give you a bit more to do, but sometimes the motion controls are a pain. I do like this mode, coming back to get the new costumes, and it is a nice change of pace. Next up, Free Play. You can play locally on one system with your own rule sets. It's a nice feature if you want to play a specific court or rules, like not having a KO loss. There is online, but there really isn't a point when tournament exists. You're playing here just to play, with no reward. At least with tournaments, you get points towards costumes, even if you lose. But have fun trying to convince your friends locally to play Mario Tennis instead of something like Smash Bros. Also, good luck finding a match too. Ring Shot used to be in Co-op Challenge before, but they moved it to its own separate mode for some reason. Here, you try to shoot your ball through rings to gain points before the time runs out. You can play singles or doubles. You can also play as a team or against each other competitively. There is Yoshi's Ring Shot, where everyone's a different colored Yoshi. If you shoot the ball through the ring of your color, you gain a lot more points. I think this mode is fine. I prefer the strategy of Yoshi's Ring Shot. It is fun, but you can only play this offline. So, it sometimes could be a variation of it in Co-op Challenge if you're lucky. Last up, Swing Mode. This is definitely a haha funny mode where you use motion controls to play something akin to Wii Sports. There are a lot of different modes here: regular ball, big ball, rally challenge, and special game. Special games brings the other two co-op challenges modes together. You can only do this locally. It is fun, but nothing special without friends. I think they are fine. Motion controls don't kill the mode for me, but I'd prefer not to have them to play the co-op challenges. This is definitely to show an older or younger person who isn't well acquainted with video games and try to make them have fun without throwing them into a complex mess of Mario Tennis. Swing mode itself is just a novelty. It isn't really too fun. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really looking forward coming back to this game. The main reason I left is because I got bored and it started to become less fun. Going back, I was pleasantly surprised on how much fun I had. I think the gameplay is easy enough to get into. Yeah, there are a lot of mechanics, but you could just press A and get by moderately well. But learning the controls, you can really master the gameplay, deciding when to use zone speed and blocking shots, doing trick shots correctly, and doing the different shot types. You don't have to be a skillful player to have some fun. When I originally left the game for a while, all there really was Tournament and the Adventure mode. But now, they filled it with a complete experience with doubles and such. Tournaments used to be twice as long, it took almost 45 minutes to complete. So, I'm glad they shortened them down. I think the main issue people had at launch was the lack of content. There weren't any co-op challenges or extra features. Now, I think this game does offer quite a lot. It does offer a lot in terms of online and offline modes to play with people. Though if I had to complain in one aspect, it would probably be there isn't much single player wise. Like, yeah, the adventure mode is there, but it's really short with no post-game. You'd also get into the extra costumes like in Tournament, but if you already have them all, there really isn't a point. Small extra things like a sound test or even something cool as character bios, showing them off with their own little descriptions. Like, they're sports players. Maybe something like baseball cards, similar to Mario Sports Superstar amiibo cards. Something like that wouldn't have affected my gameplay or enjoyment of the game, but small little additions that are neat, and I like them. Overall, if this game looks like it appeals to you, it probably does. There is quite a bit in here to play with other people, but maybe not so much by yourself. I do like this game a lot, and now even more that I can appreciate this post-release content. So, I think Mario Tennis Aces is worth your time if you're into that sort of thing. I just hope to see this much love and attention put into something like a new Mario Strikers game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Trying to do more videos and streams, so look forward to that. See you next week.